Hey guys, how you doing? Hope you're having a great day. Today I wanted to talk to you about the story and almost certain possibility of GT's Super Android 17 idea being rebooted in modern Dragon Ball. In this video, I'm firstly going to pitch an idea of how they could make this arc work, with a piece of art and an idea for the story, and after that, perhaps in another video if you guys would like, I'll break down what would need to be done in order for this story to take place and to happen. But I think a lot of you will already understand the ideas and the reasons why I've made the decisions to say the things in the story that I have done. For those of you that are unfamiliar with the amount that filler affected the way that Hell and everything works in Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z, it's really different from what Toriyama had set out to do in his story. That's why Hell appears differently in Dragon Ball Super than it does in Dragon Ball GT and Dragon Ball Z at times. But if you were to read the Dragon Ball Z manga, you'll see truthfully how different Hell is in that depiction. In fact, there is no Hell. But I'll get into that in another video. So without further ado, let's get into the pitched idea. So in a more modern twist from its GT counterpart, someone could very believably hack into Capsule Corp's databanks, retrieve any saved data from Android 16's operations prior to the Cell games, and if they were to break into Capsule Corp, or if more believably at this day and age, maybe they'd been scanned in. I'm sure in a universe that had flying cars and stuff, they had something that could scan in paper onto the computer. It wouldn't be a stretch to believe that the same people that hacked into the Capsule Corp in the first place could hack into it and find the documents and plans that Krillin and Trunks retrieved that are about Android 17 before destroying Dr. Gero's basement laboratory. And these people would then want to build a better Android 17 that could in fact merge with Super's Android 17 and form a formidable threat. But who would do this and why would they do it? Well, I think there's actually quite a logical and viable scenario for this story to take place. It would make sense if the bad guys that were doing this were some of the poachers from Android 17's Monster Island. Perhaps they spent some time and some money to learn of his connections in an attempt to get him to leave the island by threatening his family, etc. They learn that they can't fight him head on because he's too powerful, and so they decide the best thing to do is to try and find out who his family are and use them against him. Very typical bad guy thing to do. But in their research they learn that he's an android, that 17 isn't just some alias he flings around to hide his real name, it's literally just that he is an android. Well, he's an artificial human, but let's just stick with the fact he's android. They learn he has a twin sister who has connections and friends at Capsule Corp as well. The tech giant company that create Hoi Poi capsules and other crazy inventions. You could even stretch it as to the fact that they learned that he paid Capsule Corp a visit just before the Tournament of Power, because of course that's where they all met up. It makes sense, and it could be a very logical way of going about this. Anyway, these poachers, maybe they hire somebody to hack into Capsule Corp's systems, or they kidnap a scientist or something from Capsule Corp to recreate the plans of Android 17 that they've obtained, with the aim to create one that obeys them. They want to do this to try and oppose the power that 17 seems to have, and they do this. Once activated, Android 17's duplicate is just a bunch of robotics, he has no skin, because he's just an android. I'm thinking it kind of look a bit like Dr. Kochin's android endoskeleton from Dragon Ball Z Movie 2 The World's Strongest. The old guy with the cane who flicks his hand off and has some sort of minigun under there, yeah, you know the guy. But I picture it kind of being like this because Android 17 is an artificial human. He's half person and he's half android. He's effectively a cyborg. These plans would logically only show them how to create the android parts of him, and adjustments to his human form. Obviously they haven't got a normal lapis of the person, Android 17's real name. They don't have him to edit, and so the idea of actually having them look like twins is unlikely. This seems like the logical way to go. I know GT did it where they had a duplicate Android 17 that was like Hellfighter 17, but actually in the logistics of it, it doesn't really make any sense because he was a cyborg, he was an artificial human, and he wasn't dead. Android 17 was still in the living world, so the fact that they made an identical twin of him doesn't really make much sense. Anyway, Android 17's duplicate accompanies the poachers to Monster Island, and together they confront Android 17, the real one. Once Duplicate 17 sees Android 17 in person, the robot feels an overwhelming instinct to try and merge with him, to complete his form, kind of the way that Cell really wanted to become perfect. The robot manages to surprise Android 17 in their fight, and non-consensually, they merge, forming the new Super Android 17, or Super's Super Android 17. Super Android 17, if you will. Considering that the GT version of Super Android 17 had an extremely 90s vibe, they'd probably want to update his look a little bit. It's not really the in thing anymore, so given that Android 17 in this story unwillingly merges with the robot duplicate rather than an identical version of himself like he does in GT, it would make sense if he didn't look overly different, if he mainly still kind of kept the appearance of Android 17 from Super. But if he did look different, it would mainly be a robotic aesthetic difference. I envision that he'd probably get a slightly more up-to-date hairstyle, rather than the long one from GT that's kind of outdated. Perhaps he'd still have long hair but tie it back, a bit like Eren does in the latest season of Attack on Titan. Perhaps with the Terminator-style robotic battle scars on his face being visible. I don't know, I'm just spitballing ideas here. But I think that would be the best way to go to try and distinguish GT 17 from Super 17. Anyway, back to the story. The poachers then find their own issues when the new Super 17 turns against them and kills them. Much like the original Super Android 17 did to Jiro in GT, except of course this time he doesn't have Mew to turn to. Having spliced together the plans from Android 16's databanks and Android 17's plans, he is overpowered by Android 16's drive to kill Goku. And this then sets up the next fight between Goku and Super Android 17. This kind of really gives them a logical reason as to why Super 17 would want to fight him. This robot version, the updated one, the one that potentially has been made better than the one that Dr. Gero created. This one is actually more driven to trying to kill Goku, and that powers over Android 17's free will, if you like. The same thing kind of happens in GT, to be honest, with Hellfighter 17 seemingly getting rid of Android 17's emotions, and that's kind of what happens with Super 17's drive. So it's a similar kind of idea. I'm sure this would create an awesome side story for Bulma and the other side characters as well, trying to devise a way to separate the android and destroy the robot duplicate so that they can save Android 17 without having to kill him. The added bonus to this story could be that once they succeed in destroying the android duplicate and getting them to split, they could potentially use some of the parts from this new model to improve the old 17 and make him stronger. I mean, Android 17 appeared to be on par with Super Saiyan Blue Goku, as we saw prior to the Tournament of Power, so logically he doesn't really need a great deal of making stronger. There are other characters that are more deserving of power boosts, like Ten Shinhan and Piccolo, but, you know, it's a reason for them to do that, making a situation that has a good outcome for Android 17 and makes Bulma and the side characters have a good purpose, involvement, and an exciting story for them trying to figure out a way to separate Super Android 17 before he straight up murders Goku. But that seems to be the idea that I've kind of got going. You could probably do a similar thing where Android 18 comes back out, like she does in GT, and basically just tries to get Android 17 to wake up inside of this Super Android 17 and to overcome this metaphysical dichotomy. But that's just an idea that I've thrown together. But what do you guys think? Should they bring back Super Android 17 for a new arc, or should he remain in GT as an afterthought? Let me know in the comment section down below what you guys think and what you'd do differently. But that about wraps it up for today's video, so leave me a like and a comment and subscribe for more of this sort of content. As I say, leave me a comment, let me know whether you think that you would like to see Android 17 come back and bring back his Super Android 17 form, or whether you think he should just stay in GT. I know a lot of people are really eager for the Shadow Dragons to come back and for even there to be a baby arc, not necessarily with baby, but another Sufurian or a Tuffle arc. Is Super Android 17 one of those things you think needs to come back and be retold? Personally, I think that the door is really open for that, and I know that even if we don't get Super Android 17 in Dragon Ball Super, I think there's a very good chance we'll see Super Android 17 come to Dragon Ball Heroes in the near future. It's inevitable with his popularity after the Tournament of Power. But anyway, thanks for watching, remember to subscribe for more of this content, and until next time, I shall catch you in the next video. Bye!